What's up guys, and Michael here. Today I'm gonna give you a quick review of this Mi Band 2 and what are my thoughts on it. So let's get down to it. So generally I bought this Mi Band when I was in China for something like 15-20 euro. I bought it together with my Xiaomi Mi 5X phone, which is amazing. I will be doing a review on that also. But just with the band itself, it was so cheap, so I decided to give it a shot and see how that works for me. So generally the whole band comes in a very tiny simple box, okay, really nice. You just lift it up and you had your kind of a band. So the top part was at the very top. Inside you had the rubbery kind of a band, and you also had this very tiny cable for charging, okay, so USB, and the charging kind of metal pins up here. So generally with your lovely wristband you just kind of plug it in and you plug the whole thing to the computer preferably, okay. Generally charging is maybe up to an hour to fully charge that thing, and yeah, it holds up the charge for a long time, something like 2 weeks or so. So I'm really happy with the battery life on it, okay. The band itself, it's made obviously of a rubber that it's kind of anti-allergic. I didn't have anything going on my skin, but you guys check it out yourself. The rubber itself, very simple, okay, very light. The top here, so inside there is like a plastic or something similar to a plastic frame that you can see up here that holds actually this watch and the screen in place, okay. Generally speaking, that thing after 2-3 weeks broke, so I don't know if you can see up here, but on this side actually it broke, and right now it doesn't perfectly align, okay, so that would be kind of a disadvantage. So probably if you put it in, I wouldn't kind of remove it from the front, okay. So let me just kind of show you. So I'm gonna just put that plastic frame up here. Okay, that's inside. So generally if you want to put your screen in, do it from the back side, okay, and then put it in this way, and don't take it out from the front. I think I did it a couple of times, and that's why this plastic kind of a frame did break, but generally I will just take it from the back, okay. Yeah, so right now when I put that in, it doesn't kind of align perfectly. You can see that it's kind of, the rubber doesn't stick perfectly around it. Doesn't bother me at all, still use it, no problem at all. Again, so this Mi Band 2 has also a heart rate monitor, relatively accurate, okay. It's just for walking, jogging, and it's just to give you some kind of an idea, okay. I wouldn't say it's super accurate, and when you start sweating, so when you start running, this isn't gonna work, okay. It's not gonna give you any heart rate at all. It's just not gonna measure it whatsoever, okay. Also, what I would recommend is to put it on the inside of your kind of wrist, okay. So it's just better heart rate reading from that side, whereas from the top it's just due to the hair on the top, and also just the veins are kind of closer from that side, okay. Obviously that can create some scratches on the screen, so you just have to be slightly careful. But again, for that price, and generally you can see that I don't have any protective case or anything, and there's few scratches, nothing major, works perfectly fine, okay. So that's kind of the looks of it. Yeah, generally really happy about it. Again, the system of a frame plastic in it, not ideal, okay. So once you put it in, just take it out for charging and that's it. I think I was playing up too much and it just broke. Anyway, still holding up, still working in, but there is a bigger chance of it, yeah, popping out while running or doing anything, you know. Also something to mention is that the band is waterproof, dust proof as well, so you can kind of use it for in the shower. Again, it's a waterproof to a certain extent, okay, that people don't recommend, Xiaomi don't recommend swimming in it. I did some swims, no problem at all, but again, that will be your own responsibility at your own risk, okay? So washing, having a shower, washing your hands, no problem at all. So let's go into the app itself, okay? So the wristband, that's about it, okay? Not much comes with it, okay? The box itself. So let's go into the app. So the connecting, I have a separate video how to connect the band with the phone. Generally it's a 2-3 minutes job. Just make sure that your kind of band is charged at least to a certain extent, okay, so it kind of works and you can see the display working fine. And then so connecting will be in a separate video, and I will put the link in the description. And generally when you open the app, it's straight away syncing the steps and all the data from the band itself, okay? And you have a nice kind of a list, so you have a sleep data, so you can read kind of info about your sleep. So let's say you can see some details up here, let's say, I don't know, sleeps from different days, so average deep sleep, light sleep. Unfortunately it's hard for me to say how accurate are these numbers, okay? Generally falling asleep and waking up, yeah, this would be accurate, but then deep light sleep, I have no way of kind of measuring that, okay? So that's kind of sleep data. Then we have some activities, so it would measure what kind of activities you are doing if you want to log them in, but it would generally try to measure your steps as well, so you can actually click on that and you would see kind of steps and also history of your steps. And again, these are saved on your account, wherever account you used to log into Mi app, whether it's a Google account or Mi account. So that data will be there, okay? And you can see, let's say 12,000 steps, 2 hours 18 minutes of activity, 2,700 calories burned. That's not very accurate. Anyway, the steps are there, the sleep is there, the heart rate is also there, so it's not constantly measuring heart rate, it's measuring every certain time. So you can see here kind of measuring it every 5 minutes, every 6 minutes, every half an hour, okay? It's not constantly measuring it, hence the reason for why this battery is lasting for so long, okay, comparing to those other watches. So then you can add also your weight. I mean, weight would be obviously you'd need some kind of a body scale of some sort, okay, or even just manually adding the weight data, okay? So then there's a streak of how many times you manage to achieve the goals for your steps. So my goals are not achieved for these days because I'm not using that band anymore, but yeah, it's kind of a nice motivator, nice encouragement to work on your at least steps, and then maybe some jogging, maybe some running, you know, get yourself out of bed and do some morning exercise, okay? And here you can actually kind of manually add and start some activities. You have to make sure that during the activity the band and the phone is with you. So that's not very not ideal situation, but it kind of works, okay? And then we have a profile, so you have kind of a total kilometers walked, and how many times you reached goals, so 55 days, average steps, okay? So that's kind of adjusted, so based on how many steps you do daily, the amount of kind of daily steps or would be adjusted, okay? Then you have the band itself, so this is paired band, it's showing me how much charge there is, and I can use it to unlock the screen itself. So this is actually quite a cool feature. So if you're close to your phone, you don't have to unlock it with your PIN number or fingerprint, it will be just unlocked, okay? Then incoming calls, obviously you can have the band showing you if there's some kind of incoming call. Really good if you have your phone on silent mode and you want to kind of have the vibration on your wrist. Then alarms, so again it would be kind of, you know, vibrating on the alarm, so you can set those as well, so every day for 10 past midnight or 6:30, wherever. So you can set those up. I'll actually switch that off. So app alerts, for certain apps you can actually add some notifications, okay? So I need to turn on, so you have to kind of allow certain permissions in order for this function to work. But basically if you'd have, I don't know, Facebook Messenger, someone messaged you, there would be a message kind of, or some kind of a vibration coming on your wrist, okay? And you can kind of specifically select certain apps that would work with that, okay? Also idle alerts, so kind of, you know, if you're idle or inactive for a certain amount of time, it can vibrate, give you to move around, to walk or run, go for a run or do something, okay? Incoming SMS, so you can have the text messages or vibration coming when the text message comes in. Goal notifications, it will be notifying you or vibrating when you reached your goal, kind of encouragement, and that's quite cool. And then Find Band, the band will just start vibrating if you press on the Find My Band. As you could hear right now, so that's important as well to select the band location, whether you're using left or right wrist. The steps and the heart rate will be measured correctly, okay? So because you're swinging the hand in a different way, so it's just kind of give more information to the app, so it could kind of measure all the data correctly. So band display settings, so you can have certain things kind of taken away. So I don't want, for example, calories to be displayed, okay, or battery level. I just want the time, steps and distance, for example. So I'm gonna set that up. Okay, time format, again, I have it with the date as well. And then kind of lift wrist to view info. So again, this is quite cool. If I select that, basically if I lift the wrist, I don't know if that would work. Yeah, so it's gonna kind of display the info. So for example, right now it's not, it displayed it again. Okay, now it's going off, and now it's going on. Let's say, imagine that I'm moving my wrist. Yeah, it's going on. Okay, I can switch it off. It's quite annoying when you're actually falling asleep, when you're in bed, you don't want that shining constantly at you, okay? And then heart rate sleep assistant, definitely recommend turning that on. So it's trying to get more precise sleep data, okay? It's gonna kind of take a little bit more of the battery life, but again, it's so little that again, from 2 weeks, maybe you're gonna get 1.5 weeks, okay? So it's still a lot. And really happy with the battery life. That's definitely a huge advantage comparing to watches like Garmin or any other watches, but obviously these guys are using GPS and other stuff. So overall guys, there's loads of stuff to set on the app itself, Mi Band app, okay? Or sorry, Mi Fit app itself. You can download it on Android device. And again, it works very well with Xiaomi phone, with MIUI operating system, okay? The band is really useful, okay? I find this small clock with the dates very handy, okay? And the other stuff, again, distance, steps, heart rate, all that data, sleep data, this is just an advantage, okay? And it's really nice because it's tiny. Comparing to this watch, it's just tiny. So again, that's a huge advantage. Nice to get all this data, definitely for nerdy people like myself. It's good to have all this info. Kind of disadvantages, definitely kind of, I would think Xiaomi should work a little bit better on that plastic frame around there so it doesn't break so easily, okay? I think they should work also on the heart rate to make it more accurate, to maybe increase the battery somehow, but let's say have a more accurate heart rate, okay? Maybe a better laser, maybe increasing a little bit of price or removing a nice box, but just giving a little bit more precise tool to measure heart rate, okay? but generally for a daily usage, great stuff, great value for money, and complements your phone for sure. For something like jogging or running, I would recommend thinking of another watch or another band, okay? But this wouldn't be the thing for runners. Okay guys, I hope that you enjoyed that review. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be finishing, but please subscribe to the channel, like it if you really enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.